Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another stream. This is gonna be one hell of a stream, folks. Amorim slapped up Man City last night. Today, Arsenal take on Inter. Is there pressure on Arteta to win today's game? And we're gonna be asking whether ice cold Cole Palmer is going to perform against Arsenal or he's going to stink it up just like he's done in all the big games. Anyway, joining me first and foremost is a guy who's playing Noah's Ark tomorrow. Shout out Noah, the Armenian club. You get it? Chelsea stink. But I might be your only hope, so watch out for any Liverpool slander. Joining us on the channel first and foremost is my brother. Man like Ahmed is in the building. How you doing, Ahmed?
Yeah, it's just people. Hope you're doing well. Listen, have a nice day, sensation there. Big up, bro, man. Again, man, listen, we've got a faces in front of you at the end of the day, man. It's not our fault. The Conference League has got teams that have got Noah's Ark in it, but big up to them.
Big up Noah's Ark. Joining me next on the channel, I prefer more the tomato version of him because he was a lot more shameless. Now he's back enjoying the London weather. It's all crap again. You get me? So he's been a little bit of a meltdown recently, but we love him regardless. Man like Potsy is in the building. Hello, Dan. How are you doing, brother?
Listen, man, there's no need for you to be so jealous of my suntan. I have a beautiful suntan. It goes a little bit red at times because of the ginger Ed Sheeran beard, but it is what it is. Big up to both of you. Big up to Ahmed. Nice to meet you and be on with you for the first time, brother. And Hassam, always a pleasure, man. Always. Come on.
Big up, my guy. Big up, Potsy, man. Big up. Joining us next as well. Today he's going to be so shameless because Man United from Portugal, apparently, Sporting Lisbon, beat Manchester City. You get me? Ruben Amorim, Man United on loan manager. But I absolutely love working with this guy. He's usually in the background, should be making a better intro. But today he's here to actually answer questions. You get me? So he's playing a different role today. Man like KJ's in the building. How you doing, KJ, man? You're on mute. See? You're not used to big screen. You're on mute.
See, best manager to play 3 at the back in the world, mate. That's all I'm gonna say.
Big up to you, KJ. And last but not least, he only has 15 minutes. We're gonna give him 5 minutes extra time. We're gonna give him 15 minutes, 5 minutes extra. You get me? Because I know he's gonna give it to us. Because listen, today is a beautiful day, guys. Man City lost 3 games in a row. So I'll be very shameless if I don't get a City fan on, because someone has to explain this madness right here. And his Bugatti is parked outside and here to talk about Manchester City. Man like Martin is in the building. How are you doing, Martin, man?
I've had better days. I'm loving the United fans shamelessly taking the win for last night.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's go.
That's because the
Martin, I'll give you a quick secret. I actually called LB before the game started and I'm like, please beat them. Because the last thing we need is these Man United fans being shameless, and you couldn't even beat Sporting for me.
Oh, LB's having a meltdown. LB's gone. LB's gone to a new stratosphere. He's having a meltdown, the man.
His head is definitely gone. Before we get to the football, obviously, we are going to start with a Sporting game from last night. Listen, there's already 500 people locked in. Before you do anything, I want you all to hit the like button. Every single one of you guys, please, right here, right now, do hit that like button. Do subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Every single one of you guys, right here, right now, please hit the like button and subscribe. We're going to be starting with Sporting Man City, so I'm going to give Martin the mic. But before, I'm just going to restart my internet quickly. So, guys, I have to get my partner in crime to just run the channel for a little bit. Man like Mo is in the building. Big up to you, Mo. Guys, I'll just be 1 minute because I need to restart my internet. But Mo, go ahead, run it. Sporting Man City. Martin, you start this section off. I'm going to be back, guys. 2 minutes.
Why are you silent, man?
I don't know.
Bro,
It was like footage judgment now. Just footage judgment. What's going on?
Man United destroyed Man City by 4 goals yesterday. This is the headline.
Don't be shameless, man.
Headlines.
Shameless.
Ask KJ. He'll tell you exactly the same.
United wish they could have players like
Man United smashed Man City 4-1 yesterday in the Champions League. 3 points to Man United.
You know what was weird, Mo? Do you know, as I said this to you earlier, what's really weird was that was the biggest game of 2 halves that I've ever seen in a game of football. It was a game of 2 halves. It was weird because at the end of the first half, we could have been 4 up, 5 up.
And the
And
best
then-
team won. And the best team won.
But then 2 minutes into the second half, we were out the game. Like, I don't know what Pep said to him at half time. I think he just said go out.
But at the end, the game is 90 minutes.
Yeah,
Like, this
we got slapped.
excuse about we in the first half we were the better team. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end, by the way, in the first half, they had more clear-cut chances than you. You dominated position, passes, and all of this. Sporting Lisbon
No,
with
no,
Ruben Amorim
we
looked
had
better.
chances that first half.
But
We
they
had
had more chances than you. And I
Did
don't
they?
know, like Man
Did they?
City. Listen, to be honest with you, if you watched the game yesterday and you're a Man City fan, your
Mhm.
only hope is Pep Guardiola. Otherwise, you have no hope. Team looks disjointed. Defense looks like they're showing their asses every time comes against them. Every time someone bypass your midfield, your defenders are showing their asses, right? It's not looking good in terms of like defensively, not like before when your defenders can defend 1-on-1. The midfield is not looking good. The only thing that is helping you now is that sometimes you'll have Haaland doing this and this, but he's not doing great. He's not doing great. He looks so disappointed every
He's
single
not doing
game.
bad, Mo. He's not doing bad, Mo. He's not.
I mean,
Haaland's doing bad. Haaland is
From a
not doing good.
striking aspect, he's not doing bad. But like the other stuff, you know what I mean?
And
That's what.
he's really out of the games.
Yeah,
Yes, he
How
will
many
score a
goals
goal
has he
here
scored?
and there.
How many goals has he
You know,
scored?
you know what? I want you then to have the same energy that people have for Havertz for Erling Haaland. When push comes to shove, in the Bournemouth game, 2-1 down. Let me finish. 2-1 down. Erling
a
Haaland missed the
midfielder, man.
chance. Erling Haaland missed the chance in front of the goal. Yesterday, it was 3-1. Could have been 3-2. You could have come back from this. If you scored the penalty, he bottled it. Kai Havertz scored a lot of goals. Do you know what the criticism? Do you think what the criticism of Kai Havertz is this season is that when we needed you the most, you don't show up?
No, where
That
was
is the
this Mo an
reality.
hour and a half ago? Where was this Mo an hour and a half ago?
I must
was on
admit,
my
I don't know
channel.
where. I know you're trying to big up to the Arsenal there, Mo, but I can't stick up.
I'm
with
not
that.
bigging up Arsenal, bro. Arsenal, what I'm trying
My
to big up
word.
Arsenal, bro. You
I
are
can't
being
understand.
rubbish this season,
What's
bro.
that?
can't
Have City
understand.
gone bottom of the
Rubbish
league?
this
Have we gone bottom of the league here? Have we gone
Hang on,
bottom?
let me,
Bottom
mine.
of
I got you on this one, man. I got you on this one because
Oh my God, here comes
I can't stick
he's
up.
gonna defend
I
City.
can't stick up with. I can't stick up with Havertz and compare him to Haaland, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like, let's just not go there. I understand where you're getting at and what avenue you're going down, bro, but it ain't gonna happen with me, Mo. Like, let's be real. Haaland, we all know what Haaland does. Goal, and then he goes without 3 games without a goal, and everyone's like, "See, he's not actually that great." Like, the guy delivers every single season. He'll get 40 or 50 goals again, right? But genuinely, there is a concern for Manchester City and the way that they're playing defensively. And I understand that LB's lost his head and there's a couple of other City fans in the fan base that are going way over the top of it. I still think Man City will win the league and I still think they'll be more successful than Arsenal, right? So I can't sit there and start cooking too much. But genuinely, and I've said this to LB Martin, what is going on with you defensively? Because it is literally unrecognizable at the moment. Is it just Rodri or is it more than that? Because it can't just be Rodri.
It's totally more. With the loss of Rodri, what we're trying to do is we're still trying to play our game without Rodri and without KDB. And it's a little bit crazy at the minute. One thing I'm not going to do is use injuries as an excuse. Every team gets injuries. I'm not even going to blame the young. I'm not going to blame Poozy at all because I think that he got a lot of the blame last night from some fans, which I thought was a bit bang out of order. And then they wonder why.
I'll just pick up Poozy because it's brother Errol. It's his.
Yeah,
nephew.
that's what I mean. Turn down the old Liverpool Academy. Come on,
Poozy.
no, big up, yeah.
But you're not gonna blame Pep for throwing him in the deep end while he has Kyle Walker and Aki on the bench and throwing the kid away Sporting so he can look bad. We're not gonna criticize Pep again about this.
Well, let me speak for more than 2 seconds, and I can say it.
Okay.
Right out loud. I know I know this
Right.
is corrupt Mo right now. You corrupt judge over there coming out with your narratives. Calm down, son. I've never seen an Inter fan this gas when City lose. But
don't really listen to Arsenal, man.
Not gas when you
Don't
lose
listen
at
to
all.
Arsenal, man. Yeah, don't listen to
Not
Arsenal.
you know what it is?
lose.
You know what it is right now is we are having. You've got a midfielder playing right back who has said on multiple occasions he is a midfielder. So what does Luis then do? Wants to go and burn into midfield all the time. because that's his natural game. John Stones wants to then go and trade into the midfield. So straight away, we're stuck with 2 players. Then you had Gvardiol in. Gvardiol spends more time up the left wing than he does at left back. So the problem is we end up with a one-man defence with Edison and no Rodri, and it's every single goal this season is the same goal. It is a ball through the middle. And I'm sick to death for seeing the same stuff. And that is what it is. What we have to do as a football club right now is go back to basics. Go back to basics and be very stubborn like we were in that treble season, where we play 4 out-and-out defenders. That is it. I don't want to see my 2 fullbacks flying up, going past Haaland. Not bothered about that. We need to stop now and become very boring and very rigid. And what I'd simply do is I'd put Walker back to right back. I know many don't want to say that, but you make him just do right back duties. You move Ake or Gvardiol, whoever you want, into left back. But if it's Gvardiol, you tell him he's just a left back. You don't go flying up. You get Stones and Diaz or whoever is fit. You play them as just 2 straight and nobody goes. You play Gundogan as a 6 because I know everyone's hating Gundogan. The problem is he's being played as an 8. He's too old and not mobile enough to play the 8 role in a Pep system anymore. You play him as a 6 where the game is in front of him. Where he's not having to turn and move. He's got the ball in front of him, and then you can play Bernardo or Foden or KDB. You play Sabio, you play your left winger, you play Haaland. You make it as basic as we can now. And we have to become stubborn again and go back to the basics of football. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to be clever, intricate football with Pep, with 2 or 3 of our best players that are cogs to that system, not there. And it ain't going to work.
All right.
You cannot make Kovacic do Rodri.
Let's hope Pep listens there.
Martin, isn't Rico Lewis better at right back than Kyle Walker? Because he looks a bit
Not
dancing.
defending, no. Not defending, no.
But the thing is, I don't feel like Kyle Walker's got the recovery pace anymore to come back to do that job.
No. Listen,
No,
Kyle Walker
so he
always-
doesn't go. You make him not
Do
go.
this.
Kyle
just
Walker will
like
always
that.
have recovery pace. Don't worry about that. He'll always have it. It's going forward that you don't want him to go anymore because that's where you see his frailties. But I think he's right. I think he's right. I think just they need to be a bit more pragmatic. Use the defenders in defensive positions, and you take someone like Rico Lewis and put him in midfield because one thing about that midfield is it is aging. He's getting old. You know, and it's lacking dynamism. And when I ever see, I really like Rico Lewis. Whenever I see him play, he's dynamic. He's good on the ball. He's got a forward-thinking brain, and he just never stops running. You need that in the midfield. They need that in the midfield. So I think, just put Rico Lewis where he wants to play in the midfield. Have a solid back 4, and Man City will be fine. And that's
KJ, can I ask you a question? Because I've only got 5, but I was looking at, where would you say Rico Lewis played a lot last night?
Oh, he played like right wing and like on the inside of the
as an inside 10.
Yeah.
I sat there going, the last thing he is a right back.
Legit.
You can't play him at right back against a 16, 17, 18-year-old, and he's 19 and he's gone. And then I'm looking Josko Gvardiol, he's basically up passing Nunes. What we doing? This is madness.
When you say go back to basics, I agree with what you're saying, but now I have to put you under the spot and ask you the $1 million question. Obviously, you've lost 3 games in a row, so it's not a good look. Like 1 in the Premier League, 1 in the Champions League, and I think yesterday was a culmination. And I think you've been one of the people as well who are saying, look, the performances aren't there, but we're getting the results. Thing is, now the problem is the performances are matching the results over the last 3 games because the Fulham game, obviously, listen, City agendas aside, Adama Traore literally missed 2 1-on-1s. We're not talking about half chances here. We're talking about actual chances. So the performances are matching the results now. Do you think City are in crisis? Do you think this is a repeat of 1920 City where you kind of just drop off like here and there, and you don't eventually catch up?
Potentially. I can see it.
Tell me why.
Because I don't think we're going to get this huge see, a lot of City fans right now have got this hope, as you've seen, Hussam, many times, that we're off out in January and spend 300 million quid. Wake up time. Because that ain't happening. If I hear the name Zubimendi one more time, I'm going to throw my head into a wall. I'm sick of hearing the damn name. The guy, I'm sick of hearing it.
Same.
Damn.
It's like what? It's like Zubimendi is the answer to everyone's problems, and it's not just a Rodri issue. There are other issues going on that no one is addressing. Yes, we need. The trouble is when you want big players, that's where your summer market is. You're not going to get a lot of movement going on in January. Inter Milan are not going to let Barella move out the door in January.
Yeah.
You're either looking at release clauses or people you're going to have to pay a silly amount of money for. And City, believe it or not, we haven't even got the room to do with this. Because people do think it's FIFA where you can just sell a player to anywhere. Just get them out. See you later. Bye-bye. We've got Echeverri coming in. We've got Oscar Bob back in January. So, but it's a weird one because I said at the very start of the season, I thought we'd win the league. Still think we can. Because I think if we sort this out quick, we can still win the league. I don't think the Pep situation is helping at all. I think that's now starting to become a detriment.
Did you see the rumors? Some people are saying he might leave this at the end of this season as well.
I think that only happens if they think they're going to lose the first choice manager. So, for example, if they were Alonso, you know Ancelotti's probably on that edge at the minute with Madrid. They think Alonso might be not on the market in 12 months. Well, is it better to go and get your guy now before he's not on the market anymore? Because they've lost Amorim, who I did want, and I'm glad a lot of City fans saw the way he plays football now. Is because I do think he is good. Alonso, I'm still a bit iffy about. Don't want company. It's far too soon to come after Pep Guardiola. I want company down the road. I want to see him 5 years down the road. Don't want him after Pep. That's not fair because some City fans will turn on him very quickly, and I don't want that. I don't want a. I saw it over the road. You know this, KG. I saw it with Chelsea. I've saw it with. It's a nice fairy tale.
It doesn't end well. It never ends well.
But there's a reason the fairy tales.
Like people who wanted Gerrard after Klopp, basically.
Exactly. It's come on to think about it. And for me, I hope Pep, but I think, do you know what we need now more than anything? During this international break or in the next sort of week, we get a decision from Pep. We now need to know. So the players have a clear thing. You've got Vinny Company sat on 7 months left. KDB sat with 7 months left in his contract on 400 bags a week. So he can't move to make his replacement until he tells the club what he's doing. So at the moment, City, because you probably heard it again, Musiala, Verts. It's like just random names are coming out with, and I get it, the sexy names. It's what people want. But you can't move for a Musiala or a Verts until you know what KDB's doing. Because if you go and buy Musiala and KDB goes, yeah, I'll stay another year, well, you've just committed yourself to a huge chunk of money here. So City have to, in a way now, we have to be a bit more ruthless. We've got to stop, in a way, having the tail wagging the dog. The dog's got to take back over and wag the tail and say to KDB, what are you doing? Tell us now. If you're going, tell us. We can get going on the replacement. Because you
just tell him straight?
Take months.
But
why are you giving him the choice? Why are you giving him the choice? Why don't you just say to him, look, it actually is time.
That's the way the club are. We did it with David Silva. We did it with Zabaleta. Because they've been with us for 10 years, City have that respect factor still.
But surely, you should know by
now.
now.
Out in your terms.
But like next month, or basically, I don't know it's like November, but like in 2 months, you can speak to other clubs. But so surely you should know literally by now whether or not he's saying.
I think he already knows. Listen, that Saudi money's there. He knows that Saudi money's on the table. He's not.
That's big money, yeah.
He knows half the MLS what him. It's not daft.
Yeah.
Do you not think, Martin, that you would have liked to have seen Manchester City plan a little bit more? And I'm not saying that you're run badly, because I think you're run amazingly well, but like plan a little bit more for this. because look, I think personally, KDB going is not actually going to be the big issue. You're going to miss him, whatever, right? But a lot of your players are getting to that kind of 29, 30, 31, 32 age. And the ones coming through to replacement, I don't think are anywhere near the level. And I'm looking at Jack Grealish. I'm looking at Jeremy Doku. I'm looking at some of the others thinking, what is it going to be like with the life without the likes of Bernardo, KDB? Obviously, Kovacic is someone who's come in now. He's not young anymore. Like, what's it going to look like? I mean, Haaland's cool, but like, and Foden's cool, and anyone will want them in their side. But where is it moving to the next level? I don't know. I thought Man City might have planned a bit better for this, but maybe they have, and I don't know some of the names.
I'm not sure, Potts, because with the Hugo Viana stuff, it's another thing. Because Cheeky's been going for 12 months. They knew at the club he was gone for 12 months. Hugo Viana's coming in January. Well, he's kind of going to do this shadowing handover stuff.
Yeah.
No, personally, it wouldn't surprise me if he was doing a Dan Ashworth and he's already been copied into emails right now. Probably. We know how a footballer works.
Yeah.
They're not stupid. You don't announce someone 2 months before and pretend they're not really already working for you. But, come on. But I think Hugo Viana's got a huge job. I think what we need to do is, and I will say this before I leave, the biggest criticism I have, because people think I'm this happy clappy, I never say anything wrong about the club, is we sold a lot of first-team players and replaced with squad players.
Mm.
What we now need to do is go and buy 2 or 3 first-team players. What we've done is we sold Sterling, we sold Mahrez, we sold Jesus, all these players, and we replaced them with squad rotational players. That's always going to catch up on you.
Yeah.
It's always going to happen. And I've said this to you privately, Jose. We kind of we've sleptwalked into a Liverpool situation 3 years ago and never realised it. But what the fans have got to realise is it is so hard to try and, because expectations are there, you probably can't even see my hand because that's how high they are. Fans want to rebuild the squad while still winning a Premier League, a Champions League, an FA Cup, and it's so damn hard. We might have to have a season where we feel a little bit of pain, we get a little bit of unsureness, and then come back stronger for it. It's sort of, instead of short-term planning, we've got to do medium to long-term planning now.
Look, you've stayed 5 minutes extra than what you told me, so I appreciate that. But I one last question before we go.
Go on. I know what you want me to do. You want me to cut?
This is the fully on the spot question right here. This Saturday, you lose to Brighton. Then what? If you do lose that game.
I don't think anything changes. I don't think there'll be any knee-jerk reaction. And personally, I think we will lose at Brighton at weekend. And I'm going down. I'm doing a 6.5-hour journey.
Wow.
Fair enough.
And I'm doing it. I'll be back at 4 a.m. And the simple that I think it will get, and that hurts me. I'm not someone who thinks, but right now, unless Pep changes back to basics, Brighton are a damn good team. You saw that at weekend, Sam. They're a damn good team. The only blessing we may have with Brighton at the weekend is they are going to play very open football. So we may have a little bit of joy back the other way. You know, it might have to be. Don't be surprised if you get a 4-3, 3-2, 3-3. Something really wild.
Yeah.
Because trust me now, City are not stupid. Pep's hurting, the players are hurting. They ain't used to this. We haven't lost 3 back-to-back in 10 years. My only supportive out of this is it's in 3 separate competitions, which is actually a good thing. And that sounds mad. Carabao Cup, Pep said we were chucking that in a way. Champions League, we can afford to lose 1. And the Premier League, it's 1 defeat. If we'd have lost 3 in the league, then yeah, I've got problems. We've got time to start this out. But it can't get any worse after the internationals. And funnily enough, I won't even mention the fixtures after the international.
Yeah, I was gonna say it gets tough.
Tottenham and Liverpool is not my top of my agenda. Or what
you're gonna see Amorim again soon as well, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we always slap your lads up, KJ. Be quiet.
Hey,
we always slap your
lads. Shit! Wait, you actually play Spurs and us after the international break. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. Wow.
And you already know the informal agreement we've got. You win at yours, we win at ours, and that's it. We
Hey,
move on.
Martin, I wish you the best of luck after Anfield because then that is when you're gonna have a proper meltdown. Like I think what you saw yesterday. After then, if things continue the same way, it's gonna be like, oh, for you, it's gonna be difficult.
Yeah,
It's gonna
no,
be.
it will.
But
But
anyway, I
yeah,
appreciate
no,
you joining us. Thank you
cheers,
so much, my
lads.
guy, Martin. Big up to you.
Big up mine.
Guys, Mancunian Way is in the description. Please go subscribe to his channel. All these guys' channels in the description as well. I'm gonna get the guys' opinions on Manchester City. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing as well. Big up to Frankie Fast Hands who says no Rodri stuff. There's a song I picture Pep cries to every night before he goes to bed. Robin Thicke, Lost Without You. Sing it for us, Ahmed. Is this an inside joke or something?
I have no idea who this mother is, respectfully. You know what I mean?
Have you been singing this song on your lives or something?
No. You can check my lives. I'm not some. I don't sing on my lives. Last I checked, at the very least. I don't watch along, so no.
Frankie, I'm gonna need an explanation for that one right there. Frankie, because you have a lot to
That
explain.
was crazy, yeah.
Like sub, chat, like sub. Let's get 200 likes. So, guys, you heard what he says. Obviously, now we don't have a City rep on the panel, but regardless, you guys all have eyes. You saw what happened last night. You saw what happened in the Spurs Carabao Cup game. You saw what happened against Bournemouth. So, I'm gonna start with Potsy, but then let's open up the floor on this one because obviously Potts, myself, and yourself in a tighter race with them. Unless you fuck up against Chelsea this Sunday, then we're gonna put you with the United and Spurs fans. But for now, you're in the title race. What do you make of these City performances? You know, watching them.
I think they've been very fortunate in the last few weeks, if I'm honest. Last minute John Stones goals against us and Wolves. They've been unconvincing when they've beaten Brentford at home. Fulham was a joke, if I'm honest with you. Adama Traore, that should have been easily one, if not two, that they scored. So they've been unconvincing. Defensively, they look a mess without Rodri. And I honestly believe Rodri is a pivotal figure. And I know that Martin's saying it's more than Rodri, but Rodri is straight away, everybody has more confidence when he's in that side of them not dropping points. He is one of the most important players in world football, in my opinion. And with him out for the majority, I think all of the season, that is definitely going to be a massive miss for them. And I can understand, unlike Martin, why Manchester City fans are screaming Zubamendi and other names like that, because they clearly need something more athletic in their midfield because they've got no mobility in there whatsoever. With Gondwan, with Kovacic, with Bernardo, they've got the combined age of about 95. So they cannot run. They cannot have legs in there, right? So for me, they need to try to look at doing something different to replacing Rodri. And I think when Gundogan came in, myself and others were like, wow, that's a fantastic signing. But actually, it hasn't been the Gundogan of a couple of years ago, and probably because he's 2 years older, right? So he's now 34 years old. His legs are going a bit more, and they're asking him to play in a box-to-box role, which I don't think he can do right now. So I haven't been impressed with Manchester City so far, but you know that this is Manchester City, and they'll find a way because Pep Guardiola always does it, right? There's literally a way that he will do. So you'll do something mad in a couple of weeks, and you'll go, "What the hell is he doing that for?" And it will do something. You'll be like, "Whoa, what's happening here?" However, there's only really two players I know that Manchester City can't replace. One of them is out in Rodri. The other one is Haaland. If they were to have anything to do with missing him, I think it would be really long for them, if I'm honest with you, because I don't see the replacement coming in. Foden, he's having a bit of a shambles this season. I don't think it's been spoken about enough. I don't know if there's some off-the-field stuff going on or personal stuff going on, but I've not seen enough performances from him. And I also look at, KDB and think that they need to be able to be good enough without him now. They can't keep using that excuse of, well, we haven't got KDB. Well, you didn't have him for most of last season. What were you expecting? Like, you've got to be able to be good without KDB, and you should be better without Rodri. It shouldn't be this much of a drop-off. Like, how are Manchester City still struggling to replace Rodri when they've tried everybody, right? They've tried Calvin Phillips even. They've tried Kovacic now. They've tried Gundogan, bringing him back. Just go and get a proper DM to cover for him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know I'm not bigging up Partey and Jorginho, but they both back up Rice. Do you know what I mean? They're pretty decent backups. Why have Man City not got a backup to Rodri? So, yeah, that's where I'm at. And Manchester City, I still believe they'll go on to win it. I still believe that they've got the best of the best in Pep. I'd love to see someone different. I hope it's Arsenal. It doesn't look like it's going to be the way things are going. But I still fancy Manchester City the way things are. But I'm not surprised. And I'm so stunned that Kyle Walker is still playing because actually, unlike Martin, I disagree. I think he's been shocking. Like, I honestly think he's been shocking.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's time to bomb him out and bring in Rico Lewis or bring in somebody. I don't care who it is. in there and try and shake it up a bit. Maybe bring in John Stones in midfield if he believes he's better in that way, or Enrico at right back, and just see if you could do something there, because for me it isn't working right. And when you're relying on the top scorer Haaland, after him it's Mateus Nunes, Kovacic, and Gvardiol that are scoring.
Doku doesn't even start anymore, man. Doku don't even start. Nunes is starting in this position. Like, that is like, if there's any more of an indictment on Doku as a player at Man City, at least his time as Man City, is that midfield is playing in position.
I don't even think Doku's that bad. Unpopular.
That's what.
Opinion.
No, because the thing is, me, bro. I'm a big fan of Doku, but like, since he's been at Man City, I just think that's been a wrong move for him. He should have gone to another club that would have at least helped in his process. I just think him going to Pep.
Do you not see a player like an Alan Maximan in there, a Dama Traore? He's got all of the, oh my God, he looks great, and then he doesn't actually do anything.
No, but that's the thing. That's why I think he went too soon to that club. I feel like
but in reverse, Jack Grealish is the 180 degrees opposite. You give him the ball and he just passes it back. Like, it just...
Jack Grealish has not scored since December 2023.
I feel like
he said that in the middle of his meltdown.
The thing is with Doku, if they played him and Savinho more together, and then with Haaland up front, I think then you might start to see some growth in his development and some growth in the attack. Pep changes up that attacking lineup like all the time, and yes, he's putting Mateus Nunes out there because he's trying to find a solution for him as well. But at the end of the day, how does anyone expect him to find his feet and find his form when every few games he's out of the team, and if he's been injured as well, that doesn't happen either. But City are in a place where they need to change it up, and I think they've got the fundamentals to change it in terms of you've got two direct tricky wingers, you've got a goal scorer in Haaland, and you've got someone like Enrico Lewis, your Mateus Nunes, who are dynamic in midfield. I think Pep's just being stubborn.
Yes.
Pep is just being stubborn and trying to stick to what is normally done for how long. And he needs to change. He just needs to change. Because right now, Man City, they're in this transition period that Man United have been through before under Fergie. That I'm pretty sure Chelsea fans have been through under how many different managers, where you've pushed so long for the title and winning the title year in, year out. And now things are getting a bit stale. Players are getting older. Things aren't clicking as
20 for me. The example I'll give you is like 2012 Chelsea. Like, obviously, we won the UCL in that period. But like we had a lot of our great players that basically, they'd entered that period where they're really old, and we had to, in the season after 2012, 2013, bring in that new, what's it called, almost like spine into the team. That's something that they kind of essentially need. That needs to happen.
That needs to happen. So you got the players like you got KDB. You got Kyle Walker, you got Gundogan, you got Kovacic, you got all these. You know what? Jack Grealish is 29 or something. Like, ain't
that's
no
crazy. I can't.
There ain't no younger either. So you got these players towards the end of game, towards the end of the career, and it's kind of like, guys, it's time for change. And I know what Martin was saying about asking asking De Bruyne if he wants to stay or not. Man City should be doing that. Man City should be saying, thank you so much for your service. We can't afford to keep you around right now. I think it's time to move on. It's the perfect time.
But it does make you question, though. It does make you question, obviously. I'm saying this now of hindsight, but there is some, like a lot of their players, yes, are old. Like, what's happened in the summer that kind of stopped them from, like, maybe bringing in, there's one or two pieces that they might have needed, whether it be a Rodri backup, because Rodri has allowed their defenders, in my personal opinion, to at least be a lot better defender ones, because they don't have to face that many 1v1s, because he's so good as a screener that the opposition barely gets only one.
He keeps them ticking, like he keeps them playing football. He keeps them ticking. He just organizes everything in the midfield.
Exactly. And so for me, like, there should have been a replacement that came in the summer, like, irregardless. Like, and that's just poor recruitment. If you don't think Foden, if Pep didn't think Foden was good enough, maybe from a creative standpoint, to do what KDB is doing, then there should have been the KDB replacement should have happened this summer, in my personal opinion too. They should have gotten someone else in there that should have been able to create for them, at least centrally, like KDB does too. So again, I just think it's also down to some of the lack of recruitment, in my personal opinion.
But I think we've made it easy for them as top six clubs. Like,
they could. The rest of us are just
they could afford to rest on their laurels. They could afford to rest on their laurels because they knew that even if they didn't have a great window, they're probably still win the league anyway because no one's really challenging them. And if someone does challenge, more than likely they'll fall off in the end anyway. So yeah, I think it's an interesting time for City.
Is there a chance City go trophyless this season?
Yes.
There's always a chance. There is always
Yeah.
a chance, but you just know that they're out of one already in the Carabao Cup. I think they would be at the moment. I still have them favourites to win the Premier League. The Champions League, you just never know because they've been great for so long now and they've still only got one. But I wouldn't put them favourites for that, but they'd be in and around it. And obviously, I'd say they're favourites for the FA Cup. So I think that, I think they will win a trophy, but there's a chance that they won't. I'm just looking at their squad, Sam. They've got 6 players that are under the age of 29. Everyone else is 29 or over. That's absolutely mad.
Who are the 6? Doku, Savio, Rico Lewis,
Oscar Bob.
Yeah. Okay, one sec. You've put me on the spot now. Here they are because they're in front of me. Here we go. So you got
Nunes.
Doku, you got Phil Foden, Doku, Savio, Haaland. Let me scroll up. Matthias Nunez, Rico Lewis, and Vardiol.
Oh,
that's
that main.
The rest are all older than. That's
Yeah.
If any City fan in the
mad,
chat knows the average age of their starting 11, can you let us know, please? Because it must
It has to be
at least,
like 28.
yeah,
Yes,
28.
Some of the
100%.
others, I mean, there's probably more if you count players like McAtee and O'Reilly and all them. If you want to go
when we
through them,
talk
but they're
about
not really.
first team.
I'm talking about players that have played
experience.
more than 10 games.
Yeah,
for
first
Man
team.
City.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thing is, like, if you even look at their first team, Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Akanji, Gvardiol,
Okay.
Kovacic, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne.
Well,
Foden,
if you look here, you've got Edison 31, Ortega 32, Scott Carson 39. You've got Akanji 29, Ake 29, Stones 30, Kyle Walker 34, Kovacic 30, Gundogan 34, Bernardo Silva 30, De Bruyne 33, and that's it.
Thing is, 28.4 apparently. I'm gonna trust you, Andreas. Thing is, like with this age thing is, older players are better for winning trophies, but if you have too many of them, they will run out of legs come March time. Like if you tell me, would I rather have experienced players? Of course, but you do need the youth in there. Like Mo alone can't win you a league title because he's 32. You need a 25-year-old, a 24-year-old, a 23-year-old, players who are younger, fresh legs, stuff like that. That's kind of what helps.
Can I throw a spanner? Can I throw a spanner in the works? I'm so glad
course.
Martin's not here because he'd shout me down. But and most of the City fans will. They're all coming to a kind of 30 age about what we do, and 115's hanging over. Like, what is there?
That is a big thing.
Do you know what I mean? Like, is there?
I know what you mean.
Is there a thing there? They all like, let's just hold fire to see what goes on. That's all I'm saying, man.
Whoop whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound.
The result isn't the 115 result, if I'm not mistaken. The result comes out what in Jan?
Red lights. Hey, the guys outside, get ready. Pull over now. Let's go. Hey, I'm gonna arrest your asses. You guys are guilty. Hold that. Anyway, listen. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Everyone, please hit the like button, subscribe right now. All these guys' channels is in the description. I want you to go subscribe to Football 12th Man Podcast. I want you to go subscribe to the Bridge Nation, subscribe to the Football Terrace so you can see more of KJ, and subscribe to the Mancunian Way as well so you can see more of Martin. Guys, we are 25 likes away from 200. Let's get there. Big up to my guy Frankie for the super chat as well. Big up everyone who supports the channel, everyone who shows us love. Everyone, get the likes up right now. FBI, open up. Everyone, please hit the like, subscribe. And now the smiles are going to be off of Potsy's face. Because they're going to be talking about your club, brother. So get ready because, Speaking of crises, if that's a word, is it crises? Crisis.
Yeah, both of them are words. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of crisis, Edu's gone. You just lost to Newcastle. You're playing Inter tonight. I watched your preview with Lee Judges. I know what you said about the Inter game and the Chelsea game. So you better say the same stuff here because I'm gonna cook your ass if you say you're gonna win. Tell me what's going on at Arsenal, Potsy. Talk to me, brother.
Bro, what's going on at Arsenal is what I've been saying was going to happen when the window's shut. And everyone's decided to give it an 8 out of 10 window, and I said it was a 4 or a 5. That's the first thing. The other thing that I said was going to happen was that Arsenal aren't serious to win the league. and they don't have the manager that I am totally 100% convinced can get us across the line yet. Until he does it, I've got to be proven otherwise, right? And both of those things are coming to fruition already. Mikel Arteta is a good coach. I'm not going to sit there and say he's an absolute clown and a fraud and a novice and all this stuff now, right? He is a good coach. Clearly, he's done good things at Arsenal. To get us challenging, job done. We're there, right? But to get us across the line, that was what I believe the process needed to look like for it to be successful. And I still have my doubts that that's going to be the case. Now, the problem I've got with Mikel Arteta is that there's been great things that he's shown in terms of style. He's definitely shown a few styles now. People have said it's like Simeone or Mourinho, but there's definitely been Pep and Klopp to his game in 22-23 where we were bouncing past teams, right? So he's definitely proven that he can have both those styles that are similar. Whether you want to put them in the same bracket as them coaches, I don't think you can yet. But certainly in terms of a style, you can, right? The problem with Mikel Arteta for me is he reminds me of the guy you work with who's got thousands of ideas but can't complete one. He just tries 15 of them, and you still can't get across the line with any of them. And this is what we're doing at the moment. We've tried to do the way where you try to be hard to beat. We've tried to do the way we blitz teams. We've now gone back to the negative side. We've tried to make physical players into the side ahead of the technical players too much. And now we've got too many big lumps and not enough technical quality. We've got too much reliance on some of the players, and he's got not enough trust in his squad, i.e. Ethan Waneri. So there's a lot of questions there and a lot of concerns and issues that I've raised. But actually, when you boil down to it, this is just what I imagined would happen 5 years into a process if things don't start winning. Because actually, when you look at it, we're 5 years in. Edu has gone. That's not a crisis, by the way. I mean, this is the guy who brought Tavares to the club and Sammy Lukonga to the club and Runner.
Hey, Tavares is doing well at Lazio, bro.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's balling out apparently. Yeah, I heard this. But he's brought in some shocking players like Fabio Vieira, who at 40 million euros, everyone was getting excited about. This guy's now playing at Porto on loan again. So let's not get too worried about Edu leaving. Yeah, let's actually go and get somebody who knows what they're doing now and has experience. The way we're playing is shambolic. I'm not one to use injuries as an excuse, and people cry at me because of it. But I said this would happen because our transfer window was a shambles. Bringing in Marino and Calafiori is not good enough, in my opinion, to take you across the line. It's good enough for squad depth, but you need more than that, right? And when Edu comes out and says you'll be really happy when the window shuts with 3 days left, everybody panicking, and he brings us, Raheem Sterling. That is not something to be excited about, is it? So everyone's then frustrated by it, right? So everyone starts calling everybody out again. I've seen this movie before, Hassan, and I'll tell you what happens, right? I've seen it many, many times at this club, bro. Yeah. We go on a cluster of bad results. This happened 2 years ago when we were going for a title. It happened last year when we were going for a title. Hell, forget the titles. This happened when we were going top four. We were going for the top four, and we lost to Crystal Palace, we lost to Brighton at home, and we lost to Southampton. And then everyone went, oh my God, he's got to go. It's absolutely terrible. We've got Chelsea next. We'll definitely lose to them. We beat them 4-2. Then we beat Man United. Then we beat West Ham, and everything was rosy again. And then what happens is you go through another period of time where you win, and then there will be a cluster of results. Just like when we started to win and surprise everybody in 22-23. And then what happens? We go to Anfield, we're 2-0 up, and then we drop points. And then we go to West Ham, we're 2-0 up, and we drop points. And then we have Southampton, we think, right, put it right. No, we go 3-1 down, we draw the game 3-3. Cluster of results. Then what happens? We start winning again. Win. Will Arsenal do it? Win. No, with cluster of results again. And then last season, we have West Ham, Fulham, and Liverpool. We go out of the cup. And then we have Bayern Munich twice and Villa. Clusters. And now what's happening? We're having a cluster of results, people. Surprise. And I'll tell you what will happen. There'll be a win. And they'll start to go, see, I told you Arteta was the man. This is what happens. We'll get to around February, March. There'll be another cluster of results. And then we'll start winning again. We'll miss out on trophies. We'll miss out on second place, third place, maybe. And everyone will go, give him another 150 million because he's the man. Kroenke loves him. And it goes round again. That is the Arsenal roundabout, which is why it's the name of one of my shows on my channel, because that is what happens at Arsenal. We go round and round again. And, some people might see this as negative and think I've lost my head because I've been talking about this for a long time. I've been very, very consistent about not having the faith and belief to get this manager can get us across the line. And I still stand by that. At the moment, I think he's been absolutely awful this season. I don't think we've played.
Yeah,
well
but I'm going to ask you the $1 million question, right? The Arteta out question.
Yeah, go on.
Arteta out question, because this is like, obviously, I watched as well your stream yesterday where this was the conversation and stuff, and rightfully so, because people, and I'll say this, Forget the matches with 10 men with all this. Forget the fact that Arsenal fans must have standards, all that shit. If Ipswich went away to Newcastle, Ipswich, who I think a lot of us think are the worst team in the league, I'd expect them to have more than one shot on target. Ipswich. So that performance away at Newcastle was unacceptable. Now, when it comes to you trusting the manager, you turning on the manager, I'll give you like plausible scenarios. If you go away to Chelsea and lose this Sunday, are you gonna then turn on the manager?
So okay, let me make this very clear, because there's a lot of people that are very much not sure where to go if what happens on the weekend was to happen. If we don't win the game against Chelsea, I honestly believe that's it. I don't think we're going to be good enough to win the title. And people will say it's too early and Liverpool can crumble and Manchester City can as well. Maybe, but I don't think that Arsenal are playing well enough to capitalise. So that for me is why I'm waving the white flag, not just because you drop more points. So for me, you have to look at who comes in to replace Mikel Arteta. I've been very, very clear about that as well. So it's not just about get him out. Oh, who comes in? Oh, there ain't no one better than him yet. Oh, we should have kept him for a bit longer. You have to be realistic about who's coming in, right? And that manager that comes in, there are managers out there. Whether it is a Simone Inzaghi in the year's time, whether it's Carlo Ancelotti if it is Real Madrid, whether it's somebody that it has to be some CV that says your team looks ready and I can deliver it. Not give me 5 years, give me 700 million. I need a plan, I need a process. Let me buy another a dog called Win. All this crap. I just want to go and get a bloody trophy across the line, and a manager that tells me they're good enough to win the damn thing. Yeah, not any of this PR crap that we keep hearing about. It's just absolute mad. I mean, like last night, Lee was talking about lemons in a glass and all this crud that I'm hearing now from Arteta. Oh, go and get your
There's
lemon.
no
put it
way
in a
he's
glass,
stuck for 11.
put it into a jar. This is what we do together. Stop waffling crap and just win me a title, and stop pickpocketing people and buying dogs.
Do you know what my issue?
This is when you know. This is how you know that managers have lost their damn mind. Because I remember when Ten Hag was started to talk about foolishness as well, and when that happens with a manager, when they start saying things that no one fully understands and it makes no damn sense, just know that their heads are gone and they're drowning. And I think it looks like Arteta is drowning right now, because now he's stuck about how do I get over the line. Like you said, he's tried so many different ways to win. In 2 seasons, he's tried so many different ways to win. He hasn't done it yet. Now he's thinking, let's be a bit more, even more pragmatic than I was maybe at the start of last season. And it's just not working. And he's got to be careful, because his mind is going and he will lose his job. And the biggest thing is that playing this way only works, in my opinion, if you've got someone so clutch up front. It could be a winger, it could be a striker, it doesn't matter who. But when you remember Chelsea for their craphousery that they used to do, who was up top? Who would be clutch for them? Drogba.
Yeah.
You know?
And then in recent times, Diego Costa as well, when Conte used to do that style of play too.
Costa
and you had Hazard there as well, who could still who could create for you too. The problem at Arsenal is they really have Saka. Like I know a lot of people still rate Havertz and what he's doing, and he's doing a good job at Arsenal, but he's not clinical. Martinelli, not clinical. Gabriel Jesus, not clinical. Who else is on the bench? Raheem Sterling, no comment. You know what I mean? Let's keep it pushing.
Yeah, no one's listen, this word has been overused in football Twitter now, and everyone uses it for like anything, like aura. But no one in that team has got the aura of like, you know what? Yeah, if my team's playing bad, screw it. Give me the ball, and I'm making it go in the back of the net. Whether it's a dribble, whether it's a long range shot, whether it's a cutting through pass,
special moments.
It is, there's no individual brilliance. And that's funny. Man United used to get cussed for relying on individual brilliance too much, but now we see the importance of it. They need to be someone, and this is why when you look at someone like Victor Gyokeres, for example, my man is he the fanciest footballer? No. Has he got the silky skills and all of that? No. But he's got that mentality of, I'm getting this team across the line. So if I have to run through a defender and smack it, I will do that to make sure that we win. And you can't really say that Arsenal got that. I like Saka. And he's young and he's done brilliant stuff. But he isn't, I don't personally see him as that guy who's like, screw it, man's doing this myself. Forget what Arteta's saying. Give me the ball. You're above. Run here, I'll give it to you. Hazard used to do that all the time. I'm running.
But is he
again.
allowed to do that, KJ? I think that's the question. That's the question I always ask. A question I always ask about Saka is that I don't know if it's because he's not the one that he's not got that individual brilliance at times to do what needs to happen, or is it a thing of like Arteta's been very straight with him and said, "Don't do that for me." That's the question I always have with Saka.
We're looking at the wrong player, man.
Can I just throw a bomb in the ocean, and I'm gonna let you guys extinguish it? If Jurgen Klopp was the Arsenal manager this season, Bukayo Saka would already be on 18 GA and Arsenal would have 15 extra goals. And they'd
We'd
be
have an
top
unbelievable chance of winning the league, mate, if Klopp was at Arsenal. Unbelievable chance of winning the league. But he isn't, Hassam. So, we got Arteta, we got to try and deal with it. Look, I'm not slating the guy and saying he's rubbish. I don't want people to think that I'm not, right? He's taken us to a level that we needed to be and we all wanted to be, but we kind of wanted to be across the line, not the ones that are nearly there, right? And that's where I'm at. Is this guy good enough to get us across the line? We'll find out in May. And then to answer your question, Hassam, that's why I'm giving him till May, whatever. Right, unless he gets down floating around 7th or 8th or some madness, then which could happen in a couple of weeks. To be fair, if it carries on, but for me, I think that we will be floating in around 1st or 2nd or 3rd with you guys, and that's if Liverpool keep it up, which a lot of people don't believe they will. So I'm looking at that seriously at the end of May, and I'm doing two things. I'm looking at it. I'm saying, have you won me something? No, goodbye. And if it's not goodbye, then I'm coming for the owners, and it's not on Mikel because Mikel's doing his best job. And it ain't good enough. So what do? Keep him doing something that ain't good enough to do? Or do you get rid of him and try and upgrade of him? And it should be the latter. And if the Cronkies don't do that...
I don't think they sack him, though. Even if he doesn't win
Me neither, bro. Me neither, bro.
I think the Cronkies are content of top 4. I think the owners are content of top 4. I feel like you're almost like in a similar situation to Wenger, like towards his end of his reign, where they're like, top 4, you get that for me.
Can I take it a step
further? I don't even think it's content.
They don't sack him.
I don't think it's content with top 4. I personally think they so want this whole Arteta project to work that they are throwing everything at it, money, time, patience.
Yep.
They will do that just to say, look at us. We took a young and inexperienced manager and took him to win the league. Like that, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, but KJ, I don't even think if they finish 5th, they sack him. I'll be sorry with you.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal could finish 5th, not even top 4, and Arteta will remain as the Arsenal manager unless he resigns or something. I don't look at that situation and think, forget what we think as football fans. I'm saying from them upstairs, I don't think they will sack Arteta. I think the only way they sack Arteta is if Arsenal are 16th and it's a catastrophe. Other than that, I'll be honest with you, unless a catastrophe happens, they're not sacking.
You know what I mean? They built so. That's funny. They built so much PR around him as well. I feel like they backed themselves into a corner.
They built the club almost around him. They built the club around him, bro.
Yeah, imagine the day that they say,
yes,
it's done. You're sacked.
There is another scenario though. There is a scenario that he doesn't sign his new contract and he walks at the end of the season because he feels he's underachieved. He nearly did that 2 years ago, by the way. A lot of people thought that was a joke, but that was actually serious. He thought I'm so gutted that I threw an 8-point lead away. Am I really the right guy here? Obviously, they believed that he was, and he got another title race go, but weren't able to get that across the line. I think this 3rd time thing, if he doesn't get 3rd time lucky, he might genuinely think my contract's at an end anyway. I'm not going to sign a new deal here. I'm going to go try a new challenge. That could happen. I don't think it will.
I think that's a smart thing to do. I think that's the wise thing to do.
Same.
I think sometimes the freshness is what people need. And I've said this before, and I'll be proven right or wrong. I said it a few years ago and had a debate with Arsenal fans about it. I said, Arteta will become a good coach, in my opinion. He will win a league, just not with Arsenal. I don't know what
I think for me with Arteta, I think Arteta is Arsenal's version of Poch in the sense that he started them from low. They had to reset them.
Respect Arteta, man.
No. The reason why I say Listen. We can't do that. The reason why I'm saying that is because Poch, the thing that kind of didn't help him necessarily, I would argue, is obviously the investment that it come for him towards the end to actually help him to cross the line. But at the same time, he himself was when it came to key moments, wasn't able to get his team, ready enough to actually breeze through these moments. So in their own way, he is the Arsenal. Arteta is the Arsenal version of Poch, but maybe he's done a bit more better. But the reality is that is what he's going to be. That's what he's going to be seen as, at least in my eyes.
I can't argue against that either. I mean, he's won a trophy which Poch couldn't do, but that's because he was at Tottenham, and they're allergic to it. But I feel for me, when you look at the ability of Arteta, there's been some great things he's done. And look, we always talk about this when it's the bad times, right? We never start. I look at things at the start of the season, and then people then come out of the surface and go, "Oh yeah, Dan Potts was right back in August, and now we're going to get on it." Well, in September and October, it was fine. But then they get to November, they're like, "Oh yeah, I agree. It was actually right what you said." It's all mad. They're all flip flop. They go up and down all the time. But for me, I just don't feel we've got the right guy to get us across the line. And hell, I hope I am wrong in May. I hope we're doing that, and I hope we're successful. And if he's not, I think there needs to be serious question marks. But you're right, Hassan. I don't think they sack him. I think he either has to walk or something serious has to go wrong in the league for him to get out of it. Because I can't see. I can see the owners and the board, and obviously Mikel Arteta will stay in there for a good few years now, man. I really can.
Yeah, because exactly what KJ said is true. They built the whole club really around them. Like, I don't see a scenario in
which
they're
is
going
wrong,
like,
by the
yeah,
way.
bye, Arteta. I think they could finish 5th and they could still keep him. They could finish
Mhm.
6th and still keep him. I think
Embarrassing.
barring a disastrous, and I mean disastrous season, they won't sack him. Same thing
No.
happened with Spurs and Pochettino. He just walked out. People are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, if Poch doesn't get me a trophy this season, I want him gone." The guy decided to walk out at the end of the season. With the Arteta, the reason why, like, look, obviously, I was one of the people that said Arsenal can win the league, and I predicted Arsenal to win the league at the start of the season. I'm not flip-flopping. From January until May last year, Arsenal was playing sexy football. No one in the universe can convince me otherwise. They slapped 6 past Sheffield, 6 past Burnley. They slapped West Ham for 6. They were playing amazing football, and at the same time, they were shoring up their defense. They did both. Like, they were cooking on both ends. Now, the reason why the Newcastle game is making me turn, it's making me go like, "Yo, these Arsenal guys are not serious," is, once again, you can't go away to Newcastle and have one shot on target. That is unacceptable for any big club. That's not acceptable for a relegation fodder, never mind a big club. And the reason why I defend Saka is exactly what Ahmed said, because people have been coming on to Saka a lot. Bukayo Saka created the most dangerous chance in the Newcastle game. Declan Rice should have scored that. End of discussion. Whether he's a goalkeeper, whether he's a right back or a left back, he should have scored that. Or at least minimum, make the goalkeeper make a save. Now, is Bukayo Saka allowed to thrive in that Arsenal system? My answer would be no, based on what Saka himself said, which is, we're asked to go defend, we're asked to help out defensively, we don't have freedom going forward. Do I think Bukayo Saka has the keys, if you would like, to go like, yalla, create, shoot, do whatever you want? The answer to that question, in my opinion, is no. He always has the moment for Arsenal, but if he does not have the moment, then Arsenal stink. So this makes it
There's no other guy. I want to actually make another thing, which is that I don't know what I feel like Arteta, he keeps on going more defensive. It feels like the trend line for him is he's getting more and more defense, and it's like, why is he becoming like, is he like every time he like loses like by a few points, like obviously that happened to him last season against Aston Villa, which led to him losing the title. Similarly, obviously the season before, I can't remember what game it was. It's like, does he feel? I feel like he's focused so much on that he's forgotten about that he needs attackers to actually work. You know what I mean? He can't keep on winning games by just a 1-0 or
bro. You say that and you're bang on, but you say he's forgotten about attack. He needs attackers. The guy's not bought a striker for 5 years. The last striker we had was Aubameyang in 2008. That was the last number 9 we signed, because Havertz was not bought as a number 9. Jesus is not a number 9. And Man City always said, "Oh, we won the league without a striker." Well, he was supposed to be their number 9.
Yeah.
Trossard is not a number 9. Willian is not a number 9, and Sterling is not a number 9. And they're the only attackers we bought.
And it seems like every time you fail to get a number 9, because I remember you had Vlahovic, tried, failed. Šeško was apparently one you wanted it as well, tried, failed. Who sees if you actually try and go for Gyokeres in the summer coming up? But every time you seem to fail to get a striker, it's like, screw it, we just won't get one. And you say, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just like, why not just go and get one? You know what I mean? Just go and get one. Even if it's your second choice, you need someone. You just need someone to change you up, because long ball to Havertz is not the same as a long ball to a Gyokeres or a Šeško or a Vlahovic, like those guys know how to properly battle with defenders, because Havertz ain't that guy. Jesus ain't that guy. No, none of the attackers are up for a scrap. in that forward line. None of them. And some of those games where you need that. Like I said, you need the guy that's just going to fight his way to making sure that your team wins. And like you said, like I wasn't even trying to attack Saka, to be fair. I like him. But outside of Saka, no one's got that quote unquote dog in him. No one's got that kind of ability to force things to happen. So interesting what Arteta does.
I look, everyone comes for Saka. I think Saka's well disrespected personally, and I feel like everybody looks at him. It's like, what are you going to do then, mate? It's like, hang on a minute, there's 10 other players here. What are they going to do? He's doing all he can, man. Do you know what I mean? He's the one who's not letting us down. And there's like, what does he do? I think it's like, it's weird. I think we do it with other teams as well, with Palmer, Salah, with maybe with Haaland, Foden. We do it with a lot of people. It's like,
they did it last year. Nunes and Diaz were missing one-on-ones, and they're like, "Where's Mo Salah? Where's Mo Salah?" I'm like, "Bro,
yeah, facts, man."
But that's the unfortunately
that's the nature of the game, man. Sadly,
yeah, that's the nature of being your best player. Someone's best player is that
exactly.
fans are blind.
Listen, he created the most dangerous chance of the game in the shittest system forward possible. I can't ask him for anything else. That's it. Like. That's just what happened. That's why I defend the guy. I feel bad for him because I'm like, yo, this guy was actually unleashed by a forward-thinking manager. This guy would cook, bro. This guy would cook if he were just unleashed. You know, if he could just cook. You know, but he don't even have the privilege to do that. Like, it's just like
you look at Martinelli as well, by the way. Martinelli, I mean, let's look at his individual performances by all means, because he's been poor, right? But I look at him and I think he's not been able to get any better since the age of 18. And Arteta's had him for the majority of that time. What's he been doing with him? Like, he does not look anywhere near the player I thought he was going to be when he first arrived on the scene. And I picked him up, and I've been mudded quite a lot with Martinelli because I like him a lot in terms of his individual talent. Klopp was like, I want this guy. I could get so much out of this guy. He looks unreal. Yeah, right. So you look at what he could have done there, and all of a sudden it's like, meh. You know, like I can't do much with him. It's bizarre for me. And yeah, I don't know. Look, it's not all doom and gloom. If we go and beat Chelsea at the weekend, maybe we can bounce back and everything's all good, right? Liverpool lose to Villa and Brighton beat City, and it's all fun and games again, right? That's what football's about. So let's not be too doom and gloom. I just think we have to be realistic about how Arsenal have played this season and where we're at. And I don't think it's been good, man. But things can change.
Okay, I'll ask you guys the last question on this section before we go to Ice Cold Palmer.
I don't know how we're doing that, but okay.
These 3 games Potts just mentioned. Liverpool are at home to Aston Villa. City are away at Brighton. Arsenal are away at Chelsea. I want you to tell me in order, no sitting on the fence, no they're equal, none of this crap. I want in order, most likely to drop points to least likely to drop points out of the 3 teams. And let's start with you, Ahmed. Tell me.
So you said Liverpool, Aston Villa, right? Chelsea, yes. Arsenal, and who's the other team? Just want to confirm the last one.
City are away at Brighton, Liverpool are at home to Villa, and Arsenal play Chelsea at the break.
I feel like in terms of current form, yeah, and the way things are going, I thought I'm gonna say joint first. I think this is a bit more joint first. I think it's actually between Brighton City.
We're not gonna no. You have been rejected. There's no joint first. You have to make a decision.
You've been rejected.
All right. I think realistically, probably Chelsea Arsenal, because I feel like that game's gonna end in a draw, in my honest opinion. I think City can probably I think City and Marathon can will be second for me, and then I think Liverpool, Aston Villa.
Nah, foolishness, man. Man City more likely to drop points, man.
Tell me your order, KJ.
Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool. It's simple as like Man City have a bigger problem right now than Arsenal, in my opinion.
Because the problem is Brighton, bro. They're always open. They can at least outscore them. I feel like City can at least outscore Brighton. That's the difference. I feel like they can still beat Brighton while still being defensively poor. I just don't know with Arsenal and Chelsea. I think it's going to be a bit more.
All I'm going to say is Chelsea are good. They're a good team. But you see the kind of chances they allowed this crap Man United team to have.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair point. But I think
you're telling me Arsenal can't get a few chances.
I think maybe I'm slightly biased, but I would probably make the argument that I think we had an off week. That's me being a bit biased.
Yeah, that is possible. I'm not saying it's not possible.
What's your order?
I think Arsenal are more likely to drop points due to the form and the way we're playing. I think Manchester City next, and Liverpool will beat Villa at Anfield because Villa don't look great, man. Look at him. It's incredible.
Villa's
You
got
You know
love
what?
how-
No,
man.
make
I love
sure,
how included
Sam,
that.
can I just say, make sure no one clips this up after this section when Liverpool got dunked on by Emery, Arsenal were beaten, Chelsea and Man City are beaten Brighton. That's all I'm saying, bro.
You know what's playing in my head? Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Let's go. I'm so
I'm
happy
hoping. I'm
right
hoping.
now.
Morgan Rogers
Everyone
scores
on
me,
the
man.
panel put most likely to win the game, Liverpool. But I will say I agree with KJ. I'll be honest with you, as bad as Arsenal have been, and Potts knows this because he works with LB consistently. LB is one of the most, and I'm not saying Martin was here as well. Martin's a bit more positive, but when it comes to LB, he's just fully on his club, bro. He said they should have lost to Fulham, they should have lost to Brentford, they were lucky against Southampton. The performances are now matching the results, guys. Be careful. Brighton against Man City is not going to end in a City win. I agree with KJ. I put Brighton City first, Arsenal Chelsea second, and then my club. We're going to beat Aston Villa at home. You get me? Hey, after what happened to them at Spurs, listen, let's be serious here. You guys saw that game right there. 4-1, you know, like it's just, yeah. I don't even think Deji predicted 4-1. He's the most positive Spurs fan I know. Anyway, guys, final section. I'm gonna do another 12 minutes and then we'll wrap up because I've got MHF as well. So many streams because that fraud is playing Arsenal today as well. Inter, you know, but we're gonna leave that for more to cook up later. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Big up to my guy Frankie for the super chat as well. Big up everyone locked in. Hit the likes on your way and subscribe. Ahmed, Cole Palmer, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Chelsea City. I'm doing the same thing because he's ice cold, but not in a good way, in a bad way. This Sunday, you got me taking Arsenal, my brother.
He might not even play, so
first you play Noah's Ark tomorrow. Talk to me how you feel about Chelsea right now.
Right now I'm very content. I would say, you know why I had us finishing. Obviously, that was before I saw that because I was very much an unknown in regards to where I thought the manager was going to be. But I think for me personally, quite content. I think for me, the last game against Man City, so Manchester United, my apologies, it was very worrying in the sense that I felt like we were very lethargic in that game. And the thing is, like 10 of those players did not play in the midweek game against Newcastle. So for me, that was a big thing for me when it's like, what was going wrong? What went wrong there? And I think for me, a lot of that has to do with maybe the way we're playing a little bit more. You can clearly see he's tweaked a little bit of stuff, particularly in Manchester United. You saw that Jackson wasn't coming in as deep as he used to do and like do what he usually does best. There's been clearly like some sort of like stylistic change that I don't think has been suiting the team, in my honest opinion, at Chelsea right now. And so for me, I'm hoping next week, because Maresca usually, from what I've seen so far, fixes that mistake. I think in regards to Cole Palmer, I know a lot of people have been saying he's not been rising in the big games. And I think it's three parts, I would say. Firstly, I think it's obviously on him to be able to make sure that he impacts the game better. I always say, always play it fast. You need to find a way to impact the game better. Secondly, I would say also as the coach, Maresca, you need to also find a way to stop people like literally man marking him out of the game, and giving him much better ways to actually get into the team. Again, this is your system, so you need to be able to tweak your system to allow it to let the player work. And I think the third thing is also the other players. We should not be relying on just Cole Palmer. There's Nicholas Jackson in the team. There's Noni Madueke in the team. Pedro Neto. There's a reason why we've got so many or this plethora of attackers in the team that should be providing. I shouldn't be just relying on one guy to be doing that job for me. That's the one thing I hate about in football when they're like, oh, you need to rely on this person. Like, we should rely on the Saka, or we should just rely on Rashford, or whatever it is. I'm like, no, you should. This is a team sport. I should not just be relying on one player. These other guys have to step up as well.
Do you know what's funny about Cole Palmer is I can't say too much because we've got him this weekend, right? But I will just say this is why. Earlier on, when I talked about Saka being disrespected, that was why I was bringing it up. Because Cole Palmer burst onto the scene last season and was incredible for his first season. And I said, this season, we're going to see what happens when he gets 2 or 3 players on him. And then we'll see if he turns up in the big games. Because that's what Saka's done. He's had 2 or 3 players on him for 4 years, and he turns up in big moments. To be fair, he turns up in every game. For whatever reason, even if he has a bad game, he'll get a goal or assist. A bit like what Sam was saying. Poor game, Delivers, yep, Bryce missed the header, but he delivers, right? That's what we're going to see. So I still think Cole Palmer has everything in his locker to be an incredible player, like one of the best this league has seen. If he really wants it to be, I think he's that good. He's got everything to his game. But we're going to see what he's like now when people start double teaming him and when people start kicking him and when people start trying to target him. And then when people look at what he does to bounce back in terms of pressure, disappeared at City, disappeared at Liverpool, disappeared at Man United. What's going on? Like I think he can bounce back. I think he could do it against Arsenal. To be fair, I think he's that good, right? But we need to see that now, and I think that's why when people were so quick to go Palmer, better than Saka him, it's like, hang on a minute, this guy's just come onto the scene. Let's just calm down a minute. Like, why is everyone better than Saka? Is the first question. Is he the benchmark? And second of all, let's see what Palmer can do over a 4-year period. Let's see if he can carry Chelsea in a bad period like Saka carried Arsenal in a bad period of time. So, yeah, I've got a lot of respect for him. I think he's a top player. And I think he will continue to be a top player. And I think he's by far Chelsea's best player, in my opinion. I look at him and I think,
it just shows his age this season, you know, because people forget he's what, 21?
21,
Exactly.
22, yeah.
Yeah. So like he's had one full season of men's football. He's going to have these moments where like he's overthinking it. Because I think a lot of moments in Man United when he had the ball in our half and in our box, he was just overthinking it. He was trying to think, should I go left? Should I go right? Should I shoot? Like he just needs to play his natural game. When you see him against like the Newcastles, the Nottingham Forests, he just plays his game, and boom, like he just makes magic happen. But in the big games,
Hey, not Nottingham Forest this season. They're third. Back it out.
that's true. Actually, that's true. But I'm just thinking of that touch and pass. Flipping out. But yeah, but in terms of like this season in the big games, I feel like he's feeling the pressure that is being put on him now, like from the media, from certain sections of the Chelsea fan base, and he just needs to just play his game, just relax, don't worry about the noise, don't worry about having to be the guy every single week, and I think he'll be fine. Like, he's a young man, and he'll make his mistakes, and also you got to credit the teams that he's playing against when they come against him tactically that they're able to shut him down. So yeah, there's many things going wrong for Cole Palmer, but he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He's not the player that they need to worry about. They need to worry about all the other players that aren't producing. Man like Enzo Fernandez and them man there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who they need.
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about. You don't start for me anymore, so I don't know.
You know who was the worst player in that game for me? Both of them were like brothers of destruction for Chelsea. Madueke and Gusto in the United game. Those two smelled.
Do you know why it is with Gusto?
This guy's Madueke nation as well. That guy in that game was so shit.
He shouldn't have played. I'll be honest. Before we get to Madueke, I'll start with Gusto because I'm a big fan of Gusto. I was watching him back in his Ligue 1 days, and I think for me, I think he's a proper fullback. I don't think he's a technical one, and I think that because he can, and I think Maresca wants him to invert, but the problem is he probably would have rather Reece James be there. But Reece James, fitness-wise, I don't think he can do the inverting thing and moving around too much. That's why, as you've seen, he's just been playing as a proper fullback. He doesn't even go forward that much anymore. Just stays in the back line, does his job, keeps it pushing. And so for me, if you want a guy to invert, you might as well just start Kukurea. Make Reece James start on the right-hand side, bring back Kukurea into the team, and he can at least do that job for you. Madueke, I just think he shouldn't be starting. Like, I get that he does a lot of good defensive work, but he's a winger. I need you to be doing your job. If Palmer's getting blocked in the middle, it's then down to our wingers on either side, to be able to create for our attacker and create for yourself. So that's what it is for me.
Maybe Maresca needs to change it up in the big games. Maybe instead of put Palmer in the centre, whack him on the right because you'll get past his man.
And then maybe playing Cuckoo in there, maybe
playing in Cuckoo or Felix or even just an extra midfielder to score things up.
I think he came out today. He came out.
Can you not do the Felix thing in Kunku? I hear you, but Felix
I didn't say Felix here. Listen,
I'm just throwing up their options in it. Like,
but Felix is so overrated and garbage. I said it when Chelsea signed him. He's so.
What I will say, the manager actually spoke today, obviously because of the press conference stuff for Noah, and he was making the point that for Noah, you know what I mean? Look how we have to face now.
Noah.
You know what I mean?
Man saying I'm playing FC Genesis, bro. What is going on here?
but the thing is for him,
there are going to be 2 right backs and 2 left backs on the pitch.
Maybe, man. Maybe. Listen, you never know, man. Listen, it's FC Noah. The starting 11 is not starting against FC Noah, so I don't really, you know what I mean? That's not a game I worry about too much. It's a fun game to watch, as I always say. But other than that, I think he was talking about the fact that he would like to start Christoph and Cuckoo a lot more, but he doesn't like to play Cole and Christopher and Cuckoo together because it doesn't work well. It doesn't gel well, at least in his eyes. And it's just like that. You might have to try that eventually because we're not creating enough in these big games, in my personal opinion.
I need to call out Maresca for that Man United game as well. Obviously, I love the fact that he weren't on form because my team didn't lose. But where was the subs? Where were the changes in that game tactically to get the win? Because I was looking there, and again, a lot of Chelsea fans brag about this whole A team, B team thing, like our quality of our squad. But yet Maresca is not.
You know what I would say to that, KJ?
The B team players.
Do you know what I will say to that, KJ? I think what happened was, obviously, I don't know if you watched the Wednesday game, and Cuckoo had, I think his worst game for Chelsea. Felix also had probably his worst game since he's been here at Chelsea too. And so I think for me, I don't think he was willing after the performance they had on Wednesday to bring them on against Manchester United. That's what it came down to for me.
No, I understand that, but at the same time, it's like in terms of man management, you had a poor game in the midweek. You're not starting, but I want you to show what you can do, and here's an opportunity to do that. Surely that would have gave them more confidence in themselves that you can actually get more games, because unconfused people, they're speaking, they're like, yo, listen, he's going to fight for his place, but he ain't happy with the lack of game time, and so I think there was a chance for Maresca to try and do stuff with the squad, and he just didn't use it, and that's one of the reasons why I don't think you guys won that game when you should have, is because there's no utilization of the subs.
That's fair enough.
Okay, fair enough. Let me just ask you guys for your predictions before I end the stream. Predictions for this Sunday, Ahmed. Tell me, since you're the home team.
I'm gonna actually say this year. I think this is gonna be very similar to the game that we had against them last year at the Bridge, where we drew. I think it was 2-2. I could see a similar thing happen again. So my prediction would probably be 2-2 in my personal opinion, if not 1-1.
Okay, KJ.
Yeah, I was thinking 2-2 as well. I think it's gonna be a draw. I would like Arsenal to win because that would drag Chelsea back into the top 6 race, but no, I think it'll be a draw.
Potsy.
1-1, man. I think both tonight.
What the hell is everyone going for a draw?
Yeah.
I feel like it's very. We're coming. It's ironic because I don't know if Potts remembers last year's game at Stamford Bridge, because he came at a similar time. But you guys were actually flying, quite high at the time, and we were doing quite bad at the time on the watch. And it's almost the opposite in the sense that we're coming.
I think there's been a leveler. I just think there's been a leveler. Arsenal are normally up here, and Chelsea have been down there. And this season, I think it's been more. It's now leveled a bit where Arsenal are in poor form. Chelsea are playing a lot better with a new system, a new manager. I think it's just leveled out a bit where it's a bit tighter than it wouldn't necessarily be last year. Because last year I would have said Arsenal all the way. You know what I mean?
A lot of people did. I remember doing the previews and everyone was talking about Arsenal winning comfortably and all that. And to be fair, the way you were playing, I was like, I can see us winning. Don't make me comfortable.
We were bad last year, but Sam, don't get to Sam will be telling you Poch. Don't worry, man. You know what I mean?
But no, I got to say, I just don't think we're playing well enough at the moment to be confident to take 3 points at Stamford Bridge. I will be there at the game, so of course I hope we win.
I might be going to the game myself too, man.
Yeah, drop me a line, man. Drop me a line, bro.
I'll make sure to, man.
Yeah, make sure you do. But yeah, I think we'll draw the next 2 games, meaning tonight and Sunday. I can't see wins tonight or Sunday, so that's why I've gone for 1-1 in both games.
Man, I can't wait for the weekend, man. Playing against Leicester, screw that game. It's flipping Amorim time, baby. Get that game out.
You can't worry about tomorrow, man. I don't know, man. I don't know if you're gonna
tomorrow, bro. Don't worry about that. We beat in Park, man. Don't worry about that, man. Like people are trusting on us, but at the same time,
you have blood on your hands. All you had to do was just beat Sporting Lisbon.
They're now thinking they're getting Gyokeres in January too, bro. You know what I mean? That's going on, man.
To be fair, even if they had lost the flipping Man City, man, I'll still here be with chest. I'll still be like, yo, listen, get these 2 games out of the way, and let us flipping start, man. Because Ten Hag ball was a disgrace. I'm ready for some three at the back.
Fair
Anthony Redemption at left wing back. Let's flip and go, man. I'm here for it.
Let's go. Let's go. Anyway, guys, I will predict Brighton to beat Man City, Arsenal to beat Chelsea, and I'm predicting Liverpool to beat Aston Villa. That's my predictions for this weekend. Anyway, love you all, you guys. Big up to Dan Potts, big up to KJ, big up to Ahmed. All these guys' channels is in the description. Please go subscribe to their channels right here, right now. Hit a subscribe and a like on this video as well on your way out. This stream is taking over to MHF. We have so much work today, man. So much work. This stream is going to take you over to MHF, where myself, Mo, Saad, and I think there's another guy as well coming on. I don't know who. Let me go check the thumbnail. Patrick are going to be previewing tonight's game as well. So like the video, subscribe. There's Arsenal Inter watch along as well later. Come on, Arsenal. Just because I know footy judge Mo. That's the reason why I'm come on, Arsenal.
Don't worry, man. Inter Milan are prone to losing leads in it. So listen, you'll be fine, man.
Here's the thing, Ahmed. Because I know Mo, I need Mo to lose. That's the only
Yeah,
reason.
don't worry. They're gonna.
There are no
yeah.
other reasons. I wish there's another reason, but there isn't. The only reason is I just want Mo to cry.
The problem is, Sam, you know, it's Havertz versus what's his name?
Hey,
It's
Acherbi is actually a good centre back as well.
No,
you know?
not even Achavi. I forgot the other guy's
Bastoni.
name. Bastoni. Listen, Achavi is gonna eat Havertz. Let's not get twisted, but like Bastoni is just gonna, it's finished, man. You know, what I mean, I thought stuff was gonna happen, but if you got Bastoni against Havertz,
we'll see tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna see you guys on MHF, man. Love. See you guys on the other side, man. Big up.